This is taking forever.
Launch sequence in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to another cheap game review. Today we're looking at Duke Nukem Forever on the PC. It's rare when I give a game a bad review, but this isn't one of those times. Now, I've watched a lot of reviews of this game, and most of the bigger name reviewers gave the game a really amazingly bad review, unlike indie reviewers like Lazy Gamer, which seemed to enjoy the game, which gave me the right amount of incentive to want to just give it a try for myself. And then it happened. I saw the price online for $20, and I thought, what the hell, considering that falls into my cheap game reviews criteria. Just for a bit of biased backstory, I remember when Duke 3D came out on the PC. I never got to get a hold of it on the PC version, not till recently. And I remember getting the freeware version, which was always fun. And I remember clocking the first level they gave you over and over again, because it was just like the greatest thing you could possibly do as a kid. And then later in my life, I ended up getting the 64 version, which I then clocked it and I had a great time doing so. So did I enjoy Duke Nukem Forever? Or did I feel like it stole away my time? Well, I kind of stupidly answered that question in the opening, but I did enjoy it. But did the game feel like it took 15 years to make? Not really, which is not necessarily a discredit to the game. I like to look at a game and just enjoy it for what it is in the best way I can possibly can. So I guess the next real question is, did Duke Nukem come back? Is it back for me? And I can say it did, not the length that I would have preferred, but then again, it doesn't really bother me that much that it took me a good 7 hours to finish, because it was a 7 hours of fun, which can sometimes be more than most shooters these days. But the fortunate thing is that unlike most shooters, I didn't necessarily feel like I was on rails considering how on rails it was, and I did feel like I had room to move. So let's segue into gameplay. The game did have its flaws in that department, but nothing really that annoyed me too much. There were a few odd corners to get around, and the odd occasion I did feel like a little lost, as sometimes the direction was a little unclear, and sometimes it was really obvious. But overall, I had fun, and a bit of a challenge, playing this game, as some of the elements balanced itself out quite well. When it came to boss fights, I did feel like it was way too easy to figure out how to beat them. But then again, the ego bar balanced out, the ego bar being your life meter, balanced itself out, and it would drop really quickly if you got hit, so it really did put you on edge. Speaking of the ego bar, I felt that it was an awesome incentive to do silly things that Duke was known for, and I found myself exploring random areas and trying strange things that would have been a novelty if it wasn't for the fact that I get an ego boost. But overall, the game played well, and I had a good time and sometimes difficult time playing, which didn't feel like it was needlessly hard. Now on to the all-important topic of graphics. Right. Okay, so it didn't shine in that area, but there were some moments that looked amazing and others that just fell short to today's standards. But to be honest, I didn't play the game for the graphics. And then for that purpose of the game, the graphics looked fine. It did what I needed for what I wanted to do. Now that that's over and done with, let's move to sound. It's really up and down there, but there were some cool ideas that were mostly executed quite well, but sometimes it fell short, just like in the graphics department, and pieces just felt not finished, just some of the elements. The same thing goes with the weapon sounds. Some of the guns sounded really intense and impactful, and others kind of felt a little lackluster and a little bit repetitive. The story, well, what can I say about the story? It's Duke, for crying out loud. I never walked in to be fed a gripping story with some really complicated twist. I really just wanted to see this womanizing muscle man get into ridiculous situations and then say something corny or really funny. And to be honest, that's probably why I bought the game. I love that the game made fun of other games and itself. And that's really the reason why I picked it up. To have a good laugh and to blow up some aliens for a few hours. And in that, the game did quite well. Well, I say that Duke is back. Well, yes, is he back stronger than ever? Maybe not. But I would have hated if this game had never been released and just fell under. And I hope that with the sales of this game, that they make a new Duke, bigger, badder, and better than ever. Will I recommend this to everyone? Probably not, as I think if you don't find Duke either a ridiculous character or someone to idolize, then you won't really enjoy why Duke was made. To entertain. Well, I hope you liked the review. Leave any comments down below if you have anything that you want to add, or any comments. I'm probably going to be really hated for this review, but oh well. Here we go. Yeah, that would be all. Thanks for listening.